because of the nature of the large language model approach to AI doing mathematics, um, I recognize that the AI is trying to give me an argument that sounds like a proof rather than an argument that is a proof. The motivation is misplaced. And and so I worry that this is a very dangerous source of error because it often happens in mathematics that I mean, if I think back to when I was an undergrad, here at Caltech, and I was a math major eventually, and at that time, LaTeX was a pretty new thing, and I was learning LaTeX, and so I was typing up my homeworks in LaTeX, and they looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Actually, they looked like garbage. From my current standards, I'm
Yeah.
sure it was
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Except at the time, I didn't know anything. I was an undergrad, and LaTeX was sort of unheard of. And so I was producing these beautifully typeset, problem set solutions and so on. And I would print it up and submit it and so on, and the grades would come back terrible grades, and I realized what was happening is that the the copy was so beautiful mathematically typeset in this way. It looked like the kind of mathematics you find in a book, because basically that's the only time you saw that kind of mathematical typesetting was in a professional, published book. And that mathematics was almost always correct in a book, right? And so I had somehow, lost my critical because it was so beautiful, and I was used to only seeing that kind of typesetting when an argument was, totally right. I
Yeah.
wasn't critical enough and making these sort of bonehead mistakes in the proofs. And so, okay, so I corrected this, of course.
But this kind of effect is very much real with the modern LLM systems.
Yes.
That's
And
right.
so I think that the chat programs and so on are producing these arguments that look really they look like that's what they're striving to do. That it's what they're designed to do. They're not designed to make a logically correct argument. They're designed to make something that looks like a logically correct argument. And it's easy to get fooled if you're not skeptical.